Hey everyone, Mary Cristelli with PCC Wellness and Recreation, back for another weekly workout. I am going to include this workout in the description below so that you have access to that on this page. Today we have 4 different sections, just like we've had for most of these workouts. We'll start with a warm-up, which is going to be 30 seconds of each exercise for 2 rounds. With that, we're going to actually start on the floor. So in the prone position, which is face down. So you have your legs extended out behind you. You can bring your arms up in front. These are called prone swimmers. And what we're doing is we're just bringing them back and bringing them up, okay? So making nice, smooth swimming motion just like that. So we'll do that for 30 seconds. Then you're gonna stand up and do something that I really love. It's written as a deep squat to a forward fold. If you take my classes, we call these sumo squats to gorilla. What you do is you're going to have your feet a little bit wider than hips width distance, and you're going to sit down into a squat and then come up into a fold. And down into the squat and back up into a fold. You may not be able to squat down that deeply. That's fine. Go to your body's degree. In the forward fold, you may not be able to touch your toes. Also, that's okay. Just do what feels best and safe and right inside your body. So you do the squat to forward fold for 30 seconds. Then we're going to come back to the floor for 2 more movements. The first is a kneeling spinal rotation. So you're going to do 30 seconds on each side of this one. So you'll be on all fours. You want to kind of like roll your pelvis forward. You're going to take, I have my right hand behind my ear right now, and we're going to twist down toward the floor, our elbow toward the floor, and then open up. So you go 30 seconds of that on the right side, switch, and do 30 seconds toward the left. That is a kneeling spinal rotation. We're going to stay down in this kneeling on all fours position. You're going to kick one leg out to the side for hip rocks. So I've got my right foot out to the side, just put that on the floor, and all we're doing is just rocking back and coming forward, just like that. You'll feel the stretch on the inside of your thigh on this one. So you do 30 seconds with your right foot extended out to the side, switch with the left foot, 30 seconds on the left side. Then stand up, and we're going to do 30 seconds of jumping jacks. This is the little cardio piece of this warm-up. Excuse me. You can do just normal jumping jacks if you like. If you don't want to, or that doesn't feel good, especially if it like hurts your knees or anything, then you can keep moving your arms and just doing some toe taps from side to side for 30 seconds. So we'll do each of those exercises 30 seconds through 2 rounds. Then move to the strength portion, which this week we give the option of 3 to 4 rounds. Pick what feels best to you. Challenge yourself, but don't go way overboard. So we're doing 6 each Superman TYIs, which I'll explain those in just a minute. 12 each of a step up, 6 push-ups with an overhead reach, and 12 each leg of hop-overs. So to start with our Superman TYIs, we're going to be again in that prone face down position. The TYI comes from the position that our body makes. So a T is we're going to bring our arms out to the side. A Y, we're going to bring them up because our body makes a Y position. And then an I, you bring them out in front of you. So you'll do 6 of the T's, 6 of the Y's, and then 6 of the I's. You're going to be on the floor. You're going to come up engaging your back muscles to pull your chest a little bit off the floor. Imagine that you're holding like a peach in between your chin and your chest, so we're not cranking our neck all the way up or tucking it into our chest. We want a nice straight spine. So you're going to just bring your arms to the side in that T position and bring them up. Just little pulses, squeezing your shoulder blades together at the top of the movement. You do that 6 times through, then bring your arms into that Y position. Again, you're going to bring, this plant is in the way, sorry. You're going to bring them up, keeping our chin nice at that like level where we're not tucking it in or cranking it up, and we're going to do 6 of the Ys. Again, trying to squeeze our shoulder blades together. And then bring your hands forward and do 6 of the Is in that position. If you wanted to make it a little bit more challenging and get some more back work in there, while you're doing each of those movements, lift your feet up off the floor. So those are Superman TYIs. We're going to come over, and I have a step here. You can use a stair, you can head outside and use a curb, a deck, just anything that's going to elevate it up. If you want to get real wild, you can grab a chair. I'm not going to do that today, but you totally can. If you wanted to, you could use like a bar stool if you have like high countertop chairs. Don't really recommend, but if that's what you want, please feel free to do that. I'm going to use a step stool here. So again, pick it as high as or as low as you're comfortable with. This is the step stool I have in my house, so that's what I'm going to use. And all we're going to do is just step up and back down. Up and back down. Now you can do everything on one leg and do all 12 on one leg, switch and do all 12 on the opposite leg, or you can do an up, up, down, down, switching each. If you have dumbbells and you're wanting to make it a little bit more challenging, you can hold those in your hand. If you're working one in each hand, if you're working on increasing some balance type stuff, what you can do is plant the one foot on the stool and bring it up, and just bring your opposite knee, driving it up toward your chest. That will work on some balance and some ankle stability through that movement. So 12 each leg of those. Then we're going to come back down to the floor and into the push-up position. So we've had push-ups in these exercises, these workouts, several times. And so my challenge to you today is to try at least one push-up in the full plank position, using correct form, of course. I prefer that you get one really great, correctly done push-up than to do 6 with poor form, because you might hurt yourself. So if you've been doing modified, totally cool, but I want to challenge you to try and do at least one in the full plank position. Today we're adding a little bit more to this position, to this workout, to a push-up workout, and we're doing a push-up to an overhead reach. I think they can be kind of fun, but my definition of fun and other people's are very different in some cases, including these. But I hope you enjoy this one. So we're going to be in the push-up position. Again, you can be in the full plank, try it for at least one, or you can be in the modified position, which is down with your knees on the floor. So you're going to come down to the floor, reach your hands up, bring them back to the side, and push up. Okay, so down, hands up overhead, pull them back, squeezing your shoulder blades together, and pushing up. If you're doing modified, it's just come down to the floor, hands up, push. Okay, so 6 of those, and we'll stand back up and do 12 each leg hop overs. So you don't have to get super high distance with these or anything like that. These can challenge balance and stability, so be careful if you have any sort of knee, hip, or ankle concerns. Be really mindful of that, and don't go pushing yourself in a crazy way that could exacerbate that. If you feel any pain, stop doing anything, not just these, but through any movement. We should never feel pain. Discomfort is fine, but pain is not great. That's our body giving us a message. So with hop overs, all we're doing is just, okay, so you can hop and try to keep your foot up, or you can tap your toe on the floor. Just like that, okay? So if you're wanting to make it a little bit more advanced, you're going for height. So we'll do 12 each leg of those, 24 total, then move in to the cardio portion, which this workout we're doing today for our cardio interval section, I really enjoy. I'm going to move this stool out of the way and grab a pair of my shoes. So I'm just using these to mark where I will stop to shift directions and move back to the other side. I've got them about 6 feet or so apart. Yeah, it's about just over one of me if I were to lay down on the floor. So we're gonna do a side-to-side shuffle. We're gonna do, you pick 30 seconds of work to 30 seconds of rest. For the more advanced portion of it, it's 40 seconds of work to 20 seconds of rest, just whichever you prefer. And you pick 4 to 5 rounds of that, so it'll be 4 or 5 minutes depending on what you want. And you're just gonna start on one side when the timer starts, and you're shuffling from the side. Just side to side, okay? You can do short steps in between, or you can do longer ones. Okay? So you go when the timer stops, goes off, stop and rest, and then repeat that 4 to 5 times. For the core portion, which is our last section of today's workout, we have a 3-minute AMRAP, which is as many rounds as possible. We have 3 movements, 10 repetitions each. Let me catch my breath. And we're going to be laying on the floor. We've got leg lifts with a hip raise, flutter kicks, and then scissor kicks. So with these, all of them, you'll just be laying back on your back. If you need to or you want to, you can put your hands underneath your low back and your bum to kind of pad your back from the floor, and also it can help with movement. So a leg lift with a hip raise is you're going to have your legs, your feet zipped up together, and your knees straight. You don't have to lock out. All you're doing is lifting your legs up and then kicking your hips up into the air. So raise those legs, kick your hips up into the air. That may be not something that you are wanting to do today, so if you want to modify the movement, you can do a couple different things. So there's the one where we do both together. You can just do the leg lifts, just up and down nice and slow. You'll feel this along the lower portion of your abdomen in particular. Or you can just do the hip raise. So we call this a reverse crunch. So you're going to keep your knees, you're going to bend your knees in with your knees stacked above your hips, and you're just going to lift your hips up off the floor. Okay? So you can do both or one or the other. Then you'll do 10 each leg of a flutter kick. So it'll be a total of 20 flutter kicks if you're counting them together. And all that is again, you can put your hands by your side, underneath your bum, and you're just alternating, kicking your legs up and down just like that. Okay? 10 each leg of those, and then 10 each leg of a scissor kick. So same position, and all we're doing is you're crossing left over right, right over left, just like this. So you can go slower, you can go fast, just whichever you prefer. 10 each leg of those. You'll repeat the 3 for the 3 minutes. When the timer goes off, you're done. So that is this week's workout. I hope that you have a really great, fun, awesome workout. Please leave comments if you have them or questions. Again, I will put this in the description so that you have access to it. And I will see you next week. Take it easy.